Day 3 of the Rock the Stage Challenge. I'm so excited to be here to support you to create engaging videos that get shared and even go viral, support you with more ChatGPT and AI strategies. Hello, Alaska. Hello, Las Vegas. Hello to France and Pennsylvania. Hello, Scotland. Replayers. You can just forward the video about 5 minutes. We'll be getting started at the top of the hour. But for those of you that are here live, we are so excited. Karen is wondering if we're posting the replays. Yes, we are. The replays are going to be in the guides section of the Facebook group. We're going to play a short video and be back in a few minutes. Let's face it, the world needs speakers. The world needs messengers. The world needs heart-centered entrepreneurs like you, ready to take the stage, ready to bring people together in virtual events, to inspire people, to heal, to wake people up, and to transform lives. Speaking and taking the stage has given me everything. I used to be a high school teacher from Iowa, and now I'm training thousands of heart-centered entrepreneurs and speakers to take the stage all over the world.
Before Women Rocking Business, I was afraid to speak on stage and I didn't know how to monetize it. I didn't know where money was supposed to come from, so I just kind of shied away from the whole thing. But with what I've learned from Women Rocking Business, she's taught me how to be on stage, how to sell from the stage, how to have stage presence, all the points that I need to make sure that I hit to be able to monetize it. In the last year, I put on 3 events, one that made $200,000, another one that made $200,000, and another one that made $250,000 all in 1 year.
And when I took the stage and started doing regular workshops in the community, my business took off. And then I was enrolling patients in my program, and it enabled me within a few months to actually leave my hospital job. And this has changed everything because now I have time with my children that I didn't have before, time with my husband, time for self-care, time to be creative in my business. So it's been transformative.
So as a result of learning these skills, I have paying clients who have signed up as a result of me speaking, and I've been paid to speak on corporate stages. And I was on the TEDx stage this year.
The skills that I've learned at Women Rocking Business to really own my voice and step into speaking confidently have allowed me to start a podcast, do regular Facebook Lives and Instagram Live videos, to get out there and start hosting talks. I have felt so completely supported and welcomed every step of the way with Sage and the whole Women Rocking Business team.
We're gonna spend 7 days getting you all the tools that you need to create and fill and rock your virtual events. You'll also learn the 10 hottest stages that you can get on and how to land keynote speaking gigs so you can endlessly enroll your ideal clients.
My gosh, the model works. I was able to fully rock the stage and create over $200,000 and have 20 women say yes to my program, which is more than I've ever had. Now that I have these skills, I can just see how I'm going to continually grow and expand a sustainable income so that I can really have this freedom lifestyle that I have been dreaming about for so long.
Virtual events are incredibly powerful, and it's really helped me serve on a much higher level. We were able to bring over 6,000 women into the program over these last 2 years. You know, it's all due to Women Rocking Business.
So after I found Women Rocking Business, I was really able to expand my Facebook group, and then from there to implement strategies and tools, especially virtual events and challenges that I could get my audience really participating. And I did a masterclass called Magnetic Brand Strategy, which was 5 days. It was a virtual experience, and that ended up bringing in, I believe it was 120,000 in sales. and I believe it was something around 74,000 in cash. And so it was my biggest launch, and I felt so excited and just honored and celebrated by the women inside of Women Rocking Business.
We didn't know when the pandemic hit if what we did in person that was so deeply transformational and life-changing could convert well to the online platform. And what we discovered is that it can be even more powerful for people to transform in the safety of their own homes and be able to integrate our work into their lives in a much more expanded and grounded way. And the tools we learned from Sage helped us just launch to a whole new level of success and impact and transformation than we ever thought was possible.
And if my clients and I can have results like these, so can you.
If your dream doesn't scare you half to death, if your dream doesn't feel like it's too much that you're ever gonna feel, then you don't have a dream, you've got a plan.
Mwah! Let's rock this. Yay, it's day 3. It's so good to be back with all of you. Welcome to the Rock the Stage Challenge, day 3, where we're going to be supporting you to make incredible, engaging videos. Nice deep breaths, sparkle fingers if you see somebody awesome on the screen. In the upper right-hand corner, I'm going to invite you to click to gallery mode so you can see everybody. Turn your camera on. Hello, Abi. Hello, Coach Tamara. Hello, Katarina. Hello, Elvira. Hello, Andrea. Hi, Cindy. Hello, Rachel Cooley. Welcome back. Hi, Genevieve. One more sparkle fingers if you see women on the screen who have stretched and reached beyond what they maybe thought was possible. And sparkle fingers if you're grateful for every single woman that finds their way into this community so we can live big and live our messages together. The community made you a quick video to welcome you. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. I'm so excited for today. I am going to invite you to keep looking around the screen and keep checking out the absolute incredible group of women, the community of women, the circle of women who have showed up from New Zealand, from Europe, from Scotland, from Ireland, from Costa Rica, from Panama, from Canada, from all over the United States. We have women from at least 38 different countries here. Pop a yes in the chat if you're inspired by this community. Pop a yes in the chat if you've been playing in the CTAs or you're open and excited to start playing in the CTAs. Maybe you posted your talk title yesterday. Maybe you got some feedback. This community is kind of blowing my team and I away. It's almost like every time we open doors to this experience, it's almost like the community gets even stronger and brighter and more radiant. We're kind of blown away by y'all. I'm so honored to be here. I'm so excited and committed to get you the tools today to really be able to get more comfortable on camera, to be able to get even more authentic in front of your phone when you're making videos. Raise your hand if you have a mixed relationship with video. Part of you maybe likes something about it, part of you doesn't like something about it. Raise your hand if you ever feel just resistant to being visible behind like a piece of technology. I see a lot of hands going up. And raise your hand if you're one of those awesome unicorns that actually just loves video. You're like, Sage, bring on the video. I love it. I'm super happy to hop in front of the video all day long. Okay, so we see you, Rachel. We see you, Emily. We see you, Elvira. We see you, some of you that are saying, yeah, I love it. I got nothing. There's nothing between me and video. So if some of us can feel that way, I know that all of us can feel more that way. And that is one of my big commitments today. I am super proud to tell you that I've gotten more comfortable with video. I used to hate, like capital hate video. Like, you could put me on any live stage. I would much rather be with real live human beings than with a video camera. Raise your hand if you can relate to that. It used to take me like 6 or 7 or 8 hours to just feel like I got one decent little clip that I felt like I could post online. Several hours of like taking and retaking the video. And then I'd replay the video back. And I would look at my facial expressions and I'd look at things that my mouth did or my face did. And I was like mortified, like, oh my gosh, what if somebody pauses me on that frame? Or why do I look so weird? Why do I sound so weird on video? And over time, I started realizing that, first of all, there's so many levels to getting visible. And second of all, video's never going away. Someday we're going to be able to make little robots out of ourselves and do AI video, right? And make talking head videos and not even have to get behind the camera at all. We are not there yet. AI is nowhere near being able to replicate us. I have some very successful, very wealthy friends that have been trying, and their AI generated videos still look and sound ridiculous. So I want to invite you to take a deep breath and just place your hand on your heart and just let yourself know, my authentic self is the thing that's going to be attracting clients. And we can capture your authenticity on video, unlike any other method of capturing you. Can you relate to that? It's like the written word, the spoken word is not, it doesn't have as many dimensions as video. Pop a yes in the chat if you would agree. Video touches people on so many levels. They can see you, they can feel you. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be helping you really understand what is engaging on camera, how to engage people from the very beginning, and how to even create videos that go viral. One viral video can change your business big time. So I am so excited to get you this training today. You know, when I launched my very first business training, I was a niche switcher. I was telling some of you yesterday that I was definitely a niche switcher. I've been a relationship coach. I built a 6-figure business as a purpose clarity coach. And over the months of building my different businesses in these different niches, I literally was keeping track of like 24 different clients, you know, a third of whom were in one niche, a third in another niche. I realized that my favorite thing to do, this was like 12 years ago, my favorite thing to do was to support women to launch businesses that were purposeful businesses. And I had already built a 6-figure business as a purpose clarity coach. And so it was time for me to come out with my very first business training, helping women launch a purposeful business idea into the world. And one of the reasons I was credible was that I had built a 6-figure business as a purpose clarity coach. So my coach encouraged me to make a video sharing how I had built my 6-figure business and offering to support other women entrepreneurs and aspiring women entrepreneurs to do the same. And I posted that video and my mom saw it. How many of you get terrified that your mom or your sister or your brother or your dad or your grandfather or your kid is going to see your video? You would almost rather anybody see your video, but this one family member or best friend from college. So my mom calls me up and she's like, I saw the video where you're talking about making 6 figures. You can't tell people how much money you're making on social media. I think you need to take that down. I'll be honest. This was probably the 12th or 13th or 50th conversation I had with my mom where she was less than supportive about my business. Raise your hand if you have anybody in your life that doesn't really get why you want to do this thing that you want to do. Maybe they are less than supportive. Maybe they are even being naysayers. I remember taking a deep breath and realizing that this was a turning point for me. I was putting myself out there at the next level, and I needed to not have my mom in the way. I said with total love, as much as I could conjure, Mom, I hear you. You are not an entrepreneur. You've never been an entrepreneur. I want your support with all the other things in my life, who I'm dating, how to make turkey casserole. my favorite recipes of the things you made for me when I'm growing up. But I don't need your advice in this area. And then I did something really brave. I asked her for a 1-year period of no talking about my business unless it was positive. And she took a breath and said, okay, I understand. What's the weather like in Santa Cruz? And then we talked about the things that mothers and daughters can talk about safely. And that video got me 7 clients investing $8,000 each. So I want to say to every single one of you, if you're a business coach, you need to get comfortable talking about money. If you're a relationship coach, you got to get comfortable talking about love and sex and intimacy. If you're a health coach, you got to get comfortable talking about things like poop, right? And for every single one of you, raise your hand if you'd be willing to remember when the naysayers come or the negative comments come your way. Raise your hand if you'd be willing to remember that it's your job to protect you from that naysayer energy. It's not my job. It's not anybody's job, but yours. You have to protect your confidence. When it comes to making video, the conversation around video has got to include you protecting your confidence. Can I have an in the chat? I'm going to invite you in the upper right-hand corner to click on gallery mode one more time. Turn on those video cameras because we have hundreds of you on video camera right now. We're all the way into day 3 and there's still hundreds of you showing up live. You all are amazing. My team is so impressed with you. When I was reading through your talk titles, you were blowing us away. On the count of 3, give me the loudest and proudest wahoo for showing up, stretching yourself, getting visible, and giving it a try and getting visible. 1, 2, 3. Ow, ow, I can't even believe you. I cannot even believe you all. Just keep looking at the camera for one more moment and just give a little nod if you feel the power of this community. Wow. I know we're giving y'all some really great strategies and content, but you all are bringing the magic. You are showing up. You are taking the action steps. And that tells me so much about who you are. The success you want to create, if you keep going, is inevitable. And every single one of you has the possibility today of getting even more comfortable on camera, even more willing to just be your authentic self, because we don't need a Barbie doll version of you. We need the perfectly gorgeous, authentic version of you. One more sparkle fingers if you're willing to just show the world who you are, right? How many of you want more politicians, more actresses, more actors, more influencers that are just being real and talking about the real stuff, right? That's what the world wants. Y'all blow me away. I'm so excited for today. So here is what is going on, y'all. We have spent the last couple days talking about your magnetic message and how to position your talk. If you missed either of the last 2 trainings, I highly recommend you go watch them in the guides section of the Facebook group. Today, we're going to be talking about videos going viral. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about speaking, not just to entertain, but to enroll. Saturday, we're going to be helping you really look at creating and starting to create your hot offer. Sunday, we're going to be talking about getting booked as keynote. Monday, the keys to fill virtual events. And we put an extra training on the calendar next Thursday from 11 to 4. It's called the Thought Leader live stream. I hope you will grab a seat. And we actually opened up the page so that you can grab a seat. Jill, do you have that slide at all? You guys can grab a seat at womenrockingbusiness.com/thought leader. That is a bonus training. I hope you'll come. I've got some of my most incredible, esteemed colleagues and friends coming. Marcy Scheimoff's going to be teaching about the miraculous in business. Marisa Murgatroyd is going to be teaching about how to sell products and tell stories to position yourself as a thought leader. Reed Tracy is the CEO of Hay House. Have you guys heard about Hay House Publishing? How many of you would love to have a Hay House book out there someday? I would definitely come to the Thought Leader live stream if you want to learn about becoming a best-selling author. Robin Nielsen has an incredible 7-figure business in the wellness industry, supporting women to balance their hormones. Hearing about her journey is really going to support some of you. How many of you know Reverend Deborah Johnson? You've been watching her at the end of that intro video where she talks about your vision needs to be big enough. Reverend Deborah Johnson is just an incredible mentor in the area of building businesses that can reach a lot of people all over the world. So some of you have been asking, how can I let my friends know about this training? I'm loving this training. You know, it's very, very, content rich. Raise your hand if you have a friend that would love to join one of our trainings. This would be a chance to let your friends know. Just send them that website I just stuck in the chat. womenrockingbusiness.com/thought leader, and they can go over here and grab their free seat to that training next Thursday. As of tomorrow, it will be too late to sign up for the challenge, but they can absolutely join us next Thursday. And it's going to be like a lot of this, and we're going to take a lot of it to the next level. I'm so excited. For those of you that are watching us on Facebook and you want the Zoom link, we'll pop that up. It's womenrockingbusiness.com/Zoom. And for those of you who do not have the workbook yet, it is in the guides section of the Facebook group. So be sure to grab your workbook so you can follow along. And we have somebody here who's going to be coming up to the stage, who's gotten absolutely so great on camera, has helped hundreds of our clients get really successful with video. And she is going to be helping me train today in some of the viral video strategies. Hello, Nicole Kirksey. Give Nicole some love in the chat.
Oh my goodness, Sage, hello. It is such an honor, a privilege, and so great to be here at Rock the Stage at this very challenge where I was introduced to the Women Rocking Business community a few years ago. So at that time, when I came to this challenge, back when it was my time, I had already been a coach and a trainer and a speaker for over a decade. And I was really looking for new mentorship at that time to help me to take my business to the next level. I was doing a lot of speaking and coaching, but I wanted to make great money at what I love to do. Raise your hand if you want to make great money at what it is that you love to do. If so, you are in the right place. So at that time in the challenge, I learned right away that virtual online speaking events were the way to go. And I learned the power of video. So Sage was there, Coach Deborah was there, who we'll meet tomorrow, Coach Megan, who you've seen in the video, and other team members. They showed us one by one how speaking on camera not only educates and inspires, but it can really be transformational. It can be life-changing to many people when it's done the right way. And so now I'm a coach and I'm a trainer with Women Rocking Business. I still can't believe that I'm here. How did I get here? Thank you, Lord. And I get to share these strategies with amazing people just like you, and really to help you to design your own amazing and magnetic talk. Just like other people have done it, you can do it as well. So Sage, if it's okay, I want to jump right in and talk about the secrets of successful video engagement. So
I would love it. Grab your workbook, y'all, and follow along.
It is workbook time. It is workbook time. So, okay, we can talk about secret number one. Let's jump right into it. So secret number one of video engagement is to ask an engaging question or a powerful inquiry that people can say yes to. Ask an engaging question that people can say yes to. So can you feel how much more effective it might be, right? To talk straight to your viewer also, and to say you, right? Speak directly to them, right? Instead of speaking in general to the masses, speak specifically to a single person. It helps to engage them. We don't want to try to talk to all the people, right? We have a message and we want to talk to that person who we're trying to attack and trying to attract rather than attack, trying to attract. And we want to be intimate, right? We want to be conversational. We want to be real and human, right? We want to ask people questions, because when we ask questions, our mind loves to answer a question. So as soon as we're asked a question, we'll be engaging our audience members much more than we do when we're just speaking in conclusions. So if you feel that your mind is engaged when you relate to people in a different way, when they ask a question, I encourage you to pop a yes in the chat, right? Do you engage in a different way when people ask you a question? That's kind of how our minds work. So secret number one, ask that engaging question. And so let's take an example, right? Let's take an example of an engaging question. So an example of an engaging question might be, have you struggled with your energy crashing in the afternoons? Or another example might be, are you challenged by feeling invisible online when you're trying to get clients? Those are what are called closed-ended questions, right? So think about a closed-ended, engaging question that all of your potential clients or audience members can pretty much say yes to, right? We all speak to different people, so your audience might say yes to a different question. And when you're considering an engaging question, think about a question that stops people in their tracks, right? What's a question that you can ask that can really stop that scroll that people have when you're online? So Sage?
This is a great exercise. I want to actually get you all brainstorming about what engaging questions you can use to get people's attention right away on camera. Raise your hand if you stay on a video longer when you know that person is talking directly to you. Raise your hand if within a few seconds, you can't tell they're really talking directly to you. Raise your hand if you click away. Me too. Me too. We have to fight for people's attention. The fight of love, right? So in addition to brainstorming your own questions, and I want to invite you to start putting your engaging questions in the chat. How many of you would love to hear one of my favorite ChatGPT hacks with my marketing team for coming up with some of the best questions that we've come up with to use in videos, use as headlines, and even use as ads? Some of our best performing ads I am now getting from ChatGPT. What we love to do is we love to actually train ChatGPT to think like our clients, to use ChatGPT to brainstorm, to tell ChatGPT who my client is, and even give that client a name, like a client avatar. And then I can ask ChatGPT to help me brainstorm engaging questions, like engaging questions to intro a talk, or engaging questions to start a video with, or even headlines for my videos, or whatever I need in my marketing. So let's do a quick demo of this. And you guys have the link to open up ChatGPT. It's in your workbook. It's chat.openai.com. So I'm going to go there for a minute, and I'm just going to show you how I might do this. So let's try ChatGPT 4 and see if it's working. So you guys, Nicole keeps reminding you to talk to one person. Raise your hand if you heard her say that. To talk to one person in your marketing. We've even given our client a name. I think about my client as Emily. And the reason I've chosen Emily is I actually had a series of 3 women that hired me the first year that I was in business, and they were all named Emily. And they all went on to build 6-figure businesses. So literally, I think about Emily. And when I'm making a video, I look into the camera and I'm talking to Emily, right? The universal Emily. If your name is Emily, we love you. If your name is not Emily, we love you, right? But when I think about the name of a client, do you think I'm more or less intimate and authentic with her? What do you think? More or less authentic? Yeah, when I think about Emily, I just start being like, I'm talking to a friend. And I found that those are the videos that perform the highest. Is this helpful to hear? So when I go into ChatGPT, I can train ChatGPT. I can literally plug in, I can plug something in here like, my client, we are going to call her Emily, is a middle-aged woman in business with a business dream. She wants to bring a message to the world. She dreams about speaking on stage, and maybe she has already started mentoring people or healing people or coaching people. She believes the world can be a better place. She wants to change the world through launching a purposeful business. I train her to put a talk together, create an online course so she can use to change lives. I teach her to build a speaking business that changes the world and helps her make great money. Would you be willing to think like Emily for me so I can ask you some questions about my marketing? Super hot, right? Of course, I'd be happy to think like Emily. Great. I don't have personal feelings, but I can mimic the thought process. Feel free to ask me your marketing related questions. And then I might ask a question like, dun, 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 can you give me some engaging questions to open up my webinar? That's a good question to ask. So now that ChatGPT is thinking about Emily, thinking like Emily, ChatGPT is going to give me some questions. How many of you dream of transforming lives through the power of your voice and the power of your knowledge? That's a great question. What if I told you that your story and experiences can inspire change and make a big difference in the world? How many of you would like to learn about how to tell a great story from stage? Pop a yes in the chat, right? Do you believe that you have a purposeful message inside you, one that can uplift and heal and empower others? And pop a yes in the chat if you'd like to take the stage and build a business where you get to be in full expression and full authenticity, but you also have your own freedom in mind. For who is that true for? You want your own freedom, right? You want to take Fridays off. You want to maybe work 2 or 3 days a week. You don't want to be working all the time, right? So I have a question for you. Are these questions that Nicole and I are modeling, are they closed questions or open questions? Closed or open? They're closed. Thank you, Ariana. A+ for you. They are closed questions. They are specifically closed loop questions because we want to ask questions that people can say yes to. Raise your hand if you're with me. This is a big and important distinction because if I say things like, I'm curious, what are all the ways that your lives have been changed by speakers? Raise your hand if you have a lot of thoughts going on. It's open, right? I haven't really gathered the energy. You can feel how it just kind of like sends the energy out into the world. But if I say, I'm curious, how many of you could absolutely say without a doubt, you have had your life changed by an inspirational speaker? Like for how many of you is that true? Now, when I asked that second question, how many of you felt the whole community lean in? Because we were all on the same page. Can you feel it? Ina was talking about this the other day. Some of you guys heard Ina talking about how the best communication is communication that connects. Our bodies and our nervous systems feel it when we connect, which is why these engaging questions are so powerful. Okay, I think we're landing this. So post your engaging questions in the chat. Go ahead and post them. I know some of you post them a while back, and then we just told you to put lots of yeses in the chat, and now I'm lost. Okay, Leela says, have you ever been disheartened by the signs of aging in your face? That's a great question. Yeah, who here has felt disheartened by like signs of aging in your face? Easy thing to say yes to if you're talking to a group of women in the second half of their life or even in their 40s and beyond. Leela, great question. Sylvie says, have you found yourself saying yes to others even when you really wanted to say no? That's a great question, Sylvie. That's a unifying question. Nicole, do you see any other that we should?
Gina says, do you want to be happy? Awesome.
You know, it's a good question. It's a little general. Mm-hmm. If you're going to ask that, I would follow up with something even more specific to your audience. Like, I'm just curious, how many of you really deep down want to be happy? And how many of you want to be happy even after your kids leave for college, right? So you're continuing to get it more specific. Unifying an audience is the goal here.
That's hot. I like Lisa's, it makes me chuckle. It says, has your couch become your best afternoon friend?
And for how many of you would you want to have more energy in the afternoons than you ever thought possible?
So
right?
good.
So you're using the questions to take people somewhere.
So good.
So let's talk about video engagement secret number 2. In addition to asking engaging questions, we have an awesome next secret for you.
So awesome. So it is workbook time again, everybody. So video engagement secret number 2 is to share an attention-getting statistic that wakes people up. An attention-getting statistic that wakes people up. So as speakers, one of our jobs is to really wake people up, to raise their awareness and to get their attention. And so what might get them to stop scrolling, right? If they're on social media, and to tune into what it is that you're sharing. So we can think about that with attention-getting statistics. So let's look at an example of an attention-getting statistic on the next slide. So here is a great example. We have this particular statistic about authors. Did you know that only 1 out of 1,000 authors are successful in getting their book published? I've discovered a system that reverses these statistics, right? So that's a powerful statistic. If you're an author, you're totally interested in that 1 out of 1,000. That's stunning, right? So these statistics, they really position your credibility. You can use science, you can use facts and research. So if you haven't already, we encourage you to do some research online and see if there's some awesome and outstanding and awe-inspiring facts that you can come up with. There's so much information available. We do encourage you, though, as a former professor myself, I want to encourage you to make sure that you are being accurate, to use credible sources when you're gathering this information, and to cite your example, right? So it's not really about exaggerating. There's enough truth to really inspire awe and to get folks' attention. So we can also take a look at another example of an attention-getting statistic. So did you know that last year, the Small Business Bureau reported that 90% of startups failed? Meanwhile, 85% of Women Rocking Business students reported results with their speaking businesses, right? So we are, as Sage says, turning the statistic on its head, which is really awesome. So there are 2 things that you want to establish in the first few minutes if you're doing your video or if you're doing a training. One is your vulnerability and your humanity, right? Any sort of way that people can relate to you as a person, and you also want to establish credibility. So asking an engaging question like we talked about in secret number 1 can help to establish that relatability factor, and your attention-getting statistic can help with credibility. So in your talk, be sure to offer the solution that your clients are looking for. So have a little bit of research behind what you say, and that can really help to bring a lot of credibility. And this is particularly true if you haven't yet been on a whole lot of stages or had a whole lot of client success, paying client success in the past where you can use testimonials. So it's a great tool. It's a great strategy to use in order to be able to establish your credibility without having to have a lot of background. Statistics can be really helpful for you. So Sage, you want to tell us about secret number 3?
I would love to. Raise your hand if you are noticing we're throwing a lot of information at you in a short amount of time. So take a breath. I'm going to invite you to take a breath if it feels right. Let yourself get grounded. You know, the scripts that we're giving you are so helpful, and they're so easily adaptable to all of your niches. You can basically plug some of your own information in and use some kind of a script like this or an outline like this, or make the words your own. But raise your hand if you can see the energy that we're going for here in these videos, right? Raise your hand if you can see how much more engaging they are than some of the videos that, and I say this with total love, some of us have been making, where we say things like, hi, I'm Sage Levine, and I was a school teacher from Iowa. I really loved teaching. And then there was this one student that did this one thing. And then I just started really feeling like I had this idea and this passion, like to maybe help women entrepreneurs, right? So raise your hand if you can see the difference, right? Raise your hand if you think that you could benefit from just bumping up the credibility a little bit, bumping up the engagement from the very beginning of your videos. Raise your hand if you would like another chance to make one more video in one more super simple video contest. We can make that happen for you. We are going to be asking you to make one more really fun, really imperfect video today. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This will be the last video for the week. But we know when you can practice getting visible using the engagement tools, some of you raise your hand if you could already anticipate like this video is probably going to be a lot stronger than your last video. And that's exciting, right? That's where we're really looking to help you see progress. Now, I know that some of you guys still need the workbook clues, and we've got coaches in the chat who can give you those workbook clues. So just let us know in the chat if you need the workbook clues. And I want to talk about video secret number 3. I love secret number 3 because it's something that we can all do. It's really simple. And that is to let people know that you've identified a number one solution or a number one challenge that you know people go through. Now, if you have already worked with clients, you could say something like, I've surveyed my clients. If you haven't worked with clients yet, you can even just say something as simple as, you know, I've been looking out in the world. I've been talking to a lot of women. I've been talking to a lot of families. I've been talking to a lot of parents, and I've identified this big problem that people are really struggling with, or this big challenge. And that's actually led me to identifying this sort of number one solution, or this number one, what I call like a universal cure to this problem. Now, what's happening is you've positioned yourself as somebody who wants to help. Raise your hand if you trust people that clearly just want to help. And I know most of you, all of you are here because you genuinely want to help. So we just want to help you find the words to let people know how much you want to help, how credible you are, right? And how you can help them. So here's an example of that one. So I've been surveying the mission-driven speakers that I work with, and they're reporting feeling more challenged than ever by getting their message out and really finding their clients online. And that's led me to discover this number one solution, right? I've actually identified the 3 things that every entrepreneur, speaker, and coach really needs to stop being invisible online. And there are super tools that you can use to get your message out using engaging video techniques, so you can always have enough potential clients interested in your programs and services. Can y'all feel how much these words bring that feeling of credibility and competency, right? The world is struggling right now. And you all have answers. We're living in a world where so many people are struggling in kind of stuck in mediocrity and complacency, or really walking through some struggles and some pain. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, people that are really kind of stuck or struggling or kind of hanging out in a lot more mediocrity than they really should be. And you have answers. So take a breath, remember who you are. Remember that the universe is tapping you on the shoulder, and pop one more yes in the chat if you are willing to really stretch and step into claiming that you are somebody who has answers, right? You are somebody who has answers. You know, when we think about making videos, one of the things you're going to be hearing Nicole and I and the other trainers talk about is the CTA of your video. What does CTA stand for? Pop a yes in the chat. And I'm loving the fuck yeses in the chat. By the way, you have answers. All right. We know what we're talking about here. Danielle and Tia and Elvira know that CTA stands for your call to action. Your video has a purpose. You want to talk a little bit more about this, Nicole?
Absolutely. It's workbook time. Again, we are going to talk about that call to action, right? So when we are doing a call to action, we want to give people a specific next step that they can take with us. So here's some examples, right? I would like to invite you to friend me on Facebook or like my page on Facebook. I'd like to invite you to follow me on Instagram or link with me on LinkedIn. What is that? Connect with me on LinkedIn, right? Join my Facebook group to get more tools and inspiration, right? So these are examples of CTAs or calls to action. These are easy things that people can say yes to. It's really just about making like one click, or, you know, they're right on the social media, they can stay connected to you. So you're not selling anything at this point. You are building that relationship. So really think about balancing in your videos, relationship type building videos where you're doing those call to actions with different kind of videos that have a clear CTA. And really in the beginning, the more calls to action you have in your video, the better as you're building your audience. So after you've created trust and relationship and you've been relatable in your videos, you can invite people to follow you, sign up for your talks, etc. So let's take a look at an example of how you can do a call to action. So I would like to invite you to join our Women Rocking Business Sisterhood Facebook group if you'd like to learn more tools to help you find your ideal clients as a virtual speaker so that you can be part of an awesome community, make great money, and have a bigger impact. What a powerful call to action. So this is a great example of what that sounds like. It's a friendly invite and it has lots of great benefits. If you're going to do a call to action, you should tell them why and why it's a good idea. And clearly this call to action has worked for Sage. Sage now has 62,000 women and counting in her Facebook group, Women Rocking Business Sisterhood. And many of you are in that group, and that's how you found out about this challenge. So it definitely works. Way to go, Sage.
Aw, well, thank you. So let me just say one more thing about why having a call to action matters so much, right? It matters because this is actually what separates out a video or a talk from just something that entertains versus something that educates and enrolls. You know, oftentimes I think beginner speakers feel like they just need to put on this great performance. And I think the thing that so many beginning speakers are missing is just some of that structure and credibility that we're teaching you in this training. This training, by the way, this video training, because we're giving you so many scripts and really talking about the structure and the fundamentals of video engagement, I think out of the 7 days, I've had more clients tell me, like clients in our Profitable Speaker Training Program, clients that study with us ongoingly, they often tell me that it's day 3 of the Rock the Stage Challenge that they go back and listen to the most, because some of the value that we're really able to provide here, I'm just, really wanting to put a stake in the ground that you use these tools. Raise your hand if you're willing to use these. Go out and try these videos on. Video is faster for enrolling high-paying clients than almost anything that you can do. It creates connection, and connection is what creates currency. So let's talk a little bit about the virality that we can create with videos by putting just a couple little sentences in our videos that prompt people to share. This has been the difference between me getting 28 views and 500 views by just putting a couple of these sentences in. So we've got a couple of viral video strategies to teach you. And then we have a couple of awesome special guests here that are here to tell you how some of these tools have been working for them. You want to go through this one, Nicole?
Love it. Okay, so here's another workbook tip for your viral video sound bite number 1. We encourage people to share the love because we are all in this together. People really love helping. And so framing your request to share is a great way to do that. So for example, you might say, if you've gotten value from this video, share this with someone you want to give the gift of abundance to, or share this with someone you want to give the gift of health to, because we are all in this together, right? So viral videos really encourage and entice other people to share, right? And when people share your video, that is organic social media marketing power. It's gold, and it really helps to get your message out there in a big way.
I love this. I love this. Can you guys see, like, if you heard somebody say that on a video, if you got value, I'd love for you to just invite you to share this with someone that you want to give the gift of health to. Raise your hand if that would be pretty friendly for you. Like, raise your hand if that would not offend you, right? Like, if you got value, hey, just an invitation, right? And I think so often we're so scared to ask people to share our videos. Raise your hand if you've had resistance come up about asking people to share your stuff. But when we position it as sharing the love, sharing the support, hey, this is a great tool, share it with someone that you think could benefit, right? It just feels different. So I'm really glad we got that languaging. Thank you for that, Nicole. Here's another one. I like this one because it's specifically about people's friends and it's even more intimate. I've actually ended up with high-paying clients coming into our year-long programs this way by just saying like, hey, I'm just curious, do you have a friend who's struggling specifically with such and such result? Like, do you have a friend? Like, I'm looking, when I say this, I'm looking for a face to come into your mind. Do you have a friend? Do you happen to have any friends? Do you have a friend that wants to balance her hormones and just really feel better as she's moving through menopause or perimenopause? I would just invite you to share this video to really help her get her energy back, get better sleep, and just be the best that she can be. Right? So that's how it sounds. And that particular viral video soundbite, I think, is going to really help your audience, your participants, really think about like who specifically they know, right? Who do you know that you could share this with? It would be a real honor to get these tools in as many hands as possible. So raise your hand if you could see yourself adding some of these sentences to your videos, getting more shares, getting more likes. Super, super good. The last thing I'll say is that when I coach my more beginner students, they always ask me, well, how many relationship building videos should I be making compared with how many videos where like I make a direct call to action? Have any of you ever wondered that? I see quite a few hands going up. And my answer is it really depends on what level of business you're at and what strategy you're going for. In our training programs, we're really wanting to match our business plans for you to your level of business. Because if you're still learning to get clients, I'm really someone who believes the more CTAs, the better. And I really would love to work with some of you to really understand what are the most specific and most effective CTAs for you to be bringing into your videos as a beginner. Some of you are a little further along. You've got clients and now it's time to build your audience in a bigger way, because you can write this down in your notes. Relationship building videos are more of a long-term strategy than a short-term strategy. When you have a CTA, that's a more short-term strategy. Right? A CTA leads people to following you, to jumping into your group, to maybe getting on a free session with you even. And that's going to be a more assertive approach. So it would, of course, be my absolute honor to support some of you to take that next step and really keep matching your level of business with the strategies that you're using. I see that as being one of the biggest problems in our industry. There's so much bright and shiny online. Do it this way, do it that way, launch a podcast, launch TikTok, do this, get on LinkedIn, raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Raise your hand if you've ever been overwhelmed. Right? Like, it is overwhelming. It doesn't feel like a feminine strategy at all to me to try to do all of those things at once, right? It feels way better to my nervous system to say, I would like, why I've always hired mentors and why a lot of our clients come to me is they say, I don't want to spin out. I don't want to try every strategy in the book. Sage, here's where I want to go. Here's how much money I want to be making. And will you show us the best way? Women Rocking Business has 4 different signature programs, and then we have another half a dozen shorter courses. We have 4 signature programs that really aim to match our clients with their level of business to their next goals. And I know that for many of you, you don't need to make millions of dollars, right? For many of you, you would just be so delighted to have a practice full of clients paying you really, really well, work 2 or 3 days a week to really change some lives and have some freedom and do what you love to do. And then you could go from there. Raise your hand if that's you. So regardless of what level of business you're at, I want to actually invite you to be introduced right now to 2 of our rock stars. I'm going to bring up Marlu and then I'm going to bring up Trisha. Let's actually bring them both up at once. Can we give a sparkle fingers to these 2 incredible women entrepreneurs who are in the Women Rocking Business community and who have just blown us away with their results. And I want to just say that both of these women did start where you are, right? For Trisha, it was quite a few years back. For Marlu, I think it was a year or two back. But I just want to say, like, if these two women can do it, as you're listening to their stories, pop a yes in the chat if you would be willing to let this transmission like wash through you, to let your nervous system know, like, this is possible for you too. So it's so good to see both of you. You're both so gorgeous and amazing. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here. So I'll introduce both of these women to you. I'm going to start with Marlu. Marlu is serving women who have hormonal or healthcare issues that impact their skin and their self-image. She's empowering women over 40 to really embrace and elevate their inner and outer beauty. She's just doing an absolutely incredible job. She's been hosting masterclasses. She even hosted a 3-day video challenge, kind of like this. She's been enrolling high-paying clients. Marlu, it's so good to see you. What was this always easy for you, or were there ever challenges that you ran up against as you were starting your business?
Easy breezy. It just, no. You know that phrase when we say, like, just throwing spaghetti at the walls and seeing what sticks? That's pretty much me. That was pretty much me up until a year ago. I started with this very challenge, and I was watching again on Tuesday, and I'm so present to not just my growth, but also the growth of my sisters, and watching everyone just succeed and grow and struggle, really, but also struggle within a community where we get to really band together, circle around each other, and just really raise each other up. It's been incredible and something I never really expected, Sage.
I'm going to get tears in my eyes as I talk about both of you, but it's been so amazing to watch you, because I know that you've been in the beauty industry for a while. I mean, you're a walking poster board for your product. Your skin's amazing. You're so radiant. And I know Nicole has a lot to say, because Nicole just adores you. But we're so proud of you. And, it seems like your career has really accelerated, and you've been, tell us about some of what are you most proud of creating?
Some of the things I didn't have a coaching business coming into this. Like Sage just said, I've been in the beauty industry for a long time. I'm a beauty expert as a licensed skin therapist and a professional makeup artist. I mostly work in the fashion, beauty, and then red carpet. And so many things that unexpectedly, I wasn't focusing on my makeup business. Besides, I'll give it to the coaching part, but I wasn't focusing really on my makeup business. But being in Biz Academy with everyone, I'm so much more confident. I ask for higher rates and I get them now. I mean, I'm asking for 4-digit days and I'm getting them, and it's easy. I work less and I get paid more. My confidence and my courage to just ask for what I want, to put myself out there, that's been elevated. And that's been something I've never really expected to happen. My work was also published in Marie Claire magazine. So that's all on the makeup side that I didn't know about. But really on the coaching side, because I had never started on it, I feel so confident that I have a powerful foundation. One of the things that I love is all these workbooks, these handouts, the videos that we get, they're so difference making. And I listened to you, Sage. I was watching on Tuesday, and you put your money where where your mouth is. I watch everything, every handout that we get, every tool that we get. I watch you do it, and I know that I'm set up for success. I know everyone is just set up for success in working with you and all of our coaches. And shout out to my personal coach, Nicole, gold. She tells me to do something, I do it. So
you're a coaching blessing. She does. She takes such action. If I could just jump in quickly, I don't want to interrupt the flow, but Marlu, one of the things that humbles me about you is how you show up. You show all the way up. You came with a message of beauty empowerment, particularly for women who have been in transition, and you stuck with it. And you show up and you say, I'm afraid, I'm overwhelmed, I'm disappointed, and you take every bit of content and coaching and put it into action and come back and say, this works, this didn't, I'm going to keep going, because this message is so important to get out there and to keep going. It's such a blessing to know that you have had so much success, that you are flourishing in the multi-day format and loving every bit of it. And I'm so excited for all the success that's going to continue to come for you. Thank you for being such a generous leader in our community.
Thank you. Thank you. I struggle so much with self-doubt and lack of confidence. My inner critic is shouting in my ear right now. And because of this community, because I know I'm so safe and so held here, that courage just comes through me. I know that I can do anything because I have incredible women leaders really listening to what I'm up to and are listening for me to win just as much as I'm listening for them to win. It's just, I don't, yeah, no words.
We are so proud of you. We are so proud of you. It's
you.
no surprise to me that you have clients lining up, investing thousands of dollars to work with you, that you've been able to break into the mentorship industry from the beauty industry. That's a big transition, and you're doing it successfully because your clients really look up to you. And I saw that you're getting to also lead events for women navigating cancer, support women navigating the cancer journey with everything that you know in your heart and in your just your body of wisdom that you've really developed over the years. It's just so beautiful that you get to give back in that way. So we're just so inspired.
Thank you. Yeah, my workshops are so much more effective because of the training I've gotten at Biz Academy. Everything I do is just elevated because of the work that we get to, participate in with women.
Oh my gosh.
Such a vital part of the community.
Yep.
I'm so proud of both of you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for leaning in even when you have so much doubt come up. And I think we can all resonate with that. I think we can all relate to that. Poppy yes in the chat if you can relate to that feeling of just the insecurity. Even as I'm here on stage in front of hundreds of people, I can feel the insecurity and you're showing up anyway. And so beautiful. One more sparkle fingers for Marlou. You are such an inspiration. Let's pop up Trisha's slide. Trisha Nelson is an incredible expert in emotional eating. She helps women heal their hunger. She helps women specifically who struggle chronically with food and weight to address and heal emotional eating so they can lose weight and keep it off without crazy diets or impossible exercise programs. Trisha is such an inspiration. I was just on a snorkeling boat with Trisha after one of our client retreats in Maui, and I was just looking at her beautiful body dancing out on the boat in Maui, thinking, how blessed am I that I get to be inspired by women like Trisha and get to work with women like you. I know, Trisha, you've been at this for a little while and you came to us with a business. So you're in a little bit of a different position than some of the women here, but I think some of the women here would just love to hear about your journey. I mean, you've landed your TEDx talk. How many views do you have on your TEDx talk?
Close to 1.5 million.
Close to 1.5 million views on her TEDx talk. I've just, over the last few years of getting the honor to work with you, I've just watched you be even more yourself, come out with even more authenticity and just absolute commitment to changing lives. And your movement is just going off the hook. And, I'm not going to be surprised if you're on Oprah someday. Just make sure you introduce Oprah to me too. Maybe we'll be on Oprah together.
Sounds great.
But we're just so proud of you. Like, has it always been this easy? Is it as easy as it looks when we see these beautiful pictures of you?
Of course not. I mean, I had a business of only 1 year, actually, when I came to you, Sage. I'm at year 6, I'm at year 5 with your coaching. And I was struggling when I came in and I didn't have systems. I had a book, I had podcasts, I did the things I knew how to do. And so I had some pieces. I had my course, I had created my online course. So I had those pieces in place, but I didn't know how to lift off, and actually make money with the pieces that I had. So your systems have saved me and helped me, not to mention the coaching and the coaches. And I also, I have to say, and Marlou said the same thing, is, courage for me, the courage comes from the safety, and the safety of being in a community that's behind you, rooting you on, giving you tips and that kind of thing. That's meant the world to me. For anybody who is like not yet started your business, just a little background on me. I was supporting my ex-husband in his venture. He was a spiritual healer, and I was doing all the behind the scenes work, which was basically most of the work. So I was doing that for decades. And so for anybody who's kind of behind the scenes, helping somebody else shine their light and feeling your light get dimmer. That was my experience. And I had this passion growing up inside of me to help emotional eaters, which was kind of one step away from what we were doing. And I did that. I stepped out to build my own community and business. And it was a scary thing to do, but it was in my heart to do it. And I couldn't shut it down. Like I tried, I had some false starts, but finally I did it. And I have never looked back since, and everything's been going forward. And certainly there's problems and bumps in the road, but when you follow your heart and you get aligned with what you know is your true passion and message, life gets so good, like so good.
It's so good on every level. And I watch it happening for you. I watch the doors opening. I watch the travel. I look at your relationship now and I think, oh my gosh, like, thank goodness you stepped away and stepped toward what you knew to be true. Pop a yes in the chat if you've spent a chunk of your life being behind somebody else's dream and it's time for you to not be behind somebody else's dream anymore. And that's not a bad thing, right? It's a wonderful thing to be a part of a dream that matters to you. It's wonderful. But for some of you, you can feel that it's shifted now, right? And I'm seeing so many yeses. It's shifted now, and it's your time to actually bring your mission. And that's what I get so excited about. And I get so touched, Trisha, by the changes that you've made in working with us over the last few years. And, I even just think back to when you were getting better at making offers from stage. Like, what happened for you after you really dove into our whole offer framework?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was so incredible. I mean, I do 5-day challenges. And then last year I started doing 3-day events, like longer events in person. And then I did one hybrid as well, where it's people in person. And I mean, I did 2 virtual 3-day events and then a virtual and some people in the room as well. So, but the point is, my last event I just did, my 3-day event, I went from a $4,000 offer to a $10,000 offer. And this is with a lot of support, because I'm like, I can't do it. To like 10,000, that's too much. I can't, that's crazy. What am I going to do? I want to run away. And I did it because I had these gorgeous, amazing, powerful women saying, you must do this. Like, it is time, get on out there. And so I did it. And I sold from the stage. I really didn't even need sales calls. Like, I did it from the stage. People were ready to press the button. We helped with objections, but I mostly did it all from the stage, and it worked. And I was totally bowled over.
Amazing, 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 amazing. As you can see, Trisha's just willing to, like Marlu and like so many of our clients, willing to take the steps. And we can do all the things in the world here at Women Rocking Business, but what I'm so proud of is that we have clients who come in here and take the steps and stretch and get courageous and get bold. And these guys started with just simple events, like what we're teaching you guys to do. They started with masterclasses, they started with speaking, and now Trisha's putting together these multi-day events. And you guys can see Trisha has a business that creates hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And she has a team, she has a sales team, she has women helping her sell. So I just get so inspired when I think about what we can do. We can think about how many women both of you are reaching, and then think about all the women that your women are reaching, and we just get to be this network of women changing the world. I just get goosebumps. But I'm curious, some of the women who are here at this challenge, they might be thinking about, Sage has these other courses. I wonder what they're like. I wonder if maybe it would be a fit for me to invest in more training. What would each of you say, just in quick couple sentences, to anybody here who is thinking about getting more support? How do we know when it's time to get more support?
I'd say when you want to make more money. I mean, basically, I didn't know how. I'm an emotional eating expert. I'm not a business expert. I didn't know. That's not my jam, So I've got, it helps so much. Everything Sage does she creates a plan for so we can do it. Like everything, she's out there. I want a coach who's out there in front of me making it happen, and she doesn't tire. Like she is well, she may tire, but she doesn't stop. Okay, so she's constantly making it happen, and then she comes and she creates something so that we can duplicate it. And so it's always there. It's always like, oh, how do I do this? Oh, go to the files. It's in there. The SOP for that is there. This outline for how to hire this person's there. Everything she's done in her business, she just opens up and shows us how to do it ourselves. And it's so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to sit and wonder. It's there. It's a plan you can follow.
Thank you, Trisha. I received that in my heart, and I want to put it right back on you both for implementing. And I want to also say that, Trisha came to us with a podcast with, social media following, and yet there was still not the money being made that she needed. And I just want to put a stake in the ground, like wherever you guys go, whether it's here or somebody else, when you get serious about making money, just make sure you get in somewhere where you can trust the plan, because there's so many things you could be doing in your business. It's so overwhelming. And what I really want to put a stake in the ground is that you just end up somewhere with somebody who knows enough about business and your level of business that you don't waste your time. Because if you waste your time and spin your wheels, it can just take so much longer. And then you can run out of the energy and the money and, the passion to really make a go of this thing. And I'm just passionate about getting women making money right away, because the money brings confidence, and the confidence creates more impact. And then the whole thing works, and we can keep changing the world and having those lifestyles that we love. Anything to add, Marlu, for women that are wondering, like, is it my time to invest?
One of my favorite things is you are ahead of everyone, Sage. I think ChatGPT launched, I'm just gonna make it up, like on a Monday. We had a training on it on a Wednesday. That's how quick you are. And you're so thorough. It's not just, oh, just try this thing, but you've talked to the CEO, you give us all those hot tips. And I know that you're doing so much more because we're always getting new training. This is a new, like all your AI stuff is all new in this challenge. And it's so rich. It's so rich. And it makes such a difference to know and to be with a coach who's ahead of the curve, ahead of everyone, and who is actually the leader of leaders. That's one of the things, like, I love you, and I look forward to being like Trisha someday, oh yeah, this is my 6th year with Women Rocking Business. I'm in Lotus. So just future, letting you know.
All right. We got some Lotus sisters in the house here. And thank you. I received that in my heart too. I used to like drag my feet and be like, oh man, there's something new. Now I have to figure it out to show my clients. And now I'm kind of like, that's what keeps my job so interesting. Like my job description changes every few months. So I'm always like, okay, what's coming down the pipe? So I can make sure you all have the cutting edge information, because the internet is changing so fast. If we can keep you at the front side, y'all can make a lot more money. And that makes me so happy. It's like what I live for. So, Marlu, Trisha, thank you so much for not just making amazing money, but for the hearts that you have. You've both also given back in amazing ways with your businesses. So thank you. Thank you for your hearts. Thank you for your commitment. And there's a lot of love for you in the chat. So definitely look back through, give these sisters some more love in the chat. If Trisha can do it, if Marlu can do it, you can do it. Absolutely. These women, Nicole, myself, we are no different than you are. So, sisters, as you know, we have one more VIP Rock Your Message session happening in about 25 minutes. So if you do want to jump into VIP, today would be your last chance. We're going to close doors to VIP in about 2 hours. You won't be able to join anymore. So this would be your last chance to join if you haven't already. That's at womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP. Again, it's womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP. I also wanted to remind you that if you haven't jumped in and registered for the Thought Leader live stream next week, that's free. And you can do that at womenrockingbusiness.com/thought leader. And please let your friends know about that. Nicole, we have so many women who posted their draft of their talk yesterday. And it was, again, another impossible job. I was watching Netflix last night, watching Arnold. If you haven't watched it, amazing, right? All the inspiring humans who just go for it in the world. And you gotta just give everybody credit who just goes for it when like they're completely without support, and then they end up attracting support, and then the support takes them to the next level. So there I was watching Netflix, and I just kept interrupting. My fiance was like, will you stop? Because I literally read like 80 of your talk titles out loud. My fiance is like, I know you love what you do. We're watching TV together. So I love you guys. You're amazing. It was very hard to choose winners. And Nicole, do you want to let them know what they're going to get if they do win our flash prize? But remember, it's not too late to win the big prize. We have the rest of the week to queue you up for the $22,000 business coaching prize.
It is not too late. We want to encourage people again, if you haven't played already, to go ahead and jump in. And like Sage was saying, there's so many good titles. It was really, really hard to choose winners, but we want you to all feel really good about yourselves for participating. We want you to take action, and here you are. So we have 2 winners coming up, and the Women Rocking Business Journal is your prize for today. This amazing journal has a quote from Dr. Maya Angelou, and it says, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty," right? So that journal is going to be amazing to remind us to keep going. So if it's okay with you, Sage, I would
drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please, to announce the winners of CTA. Our very first winner is Lynn Ura-Imoff. Woohoo! Lynn's title passed the FACE test. She says, "Attention, divorced moms over 40, 3 essential keys to date with confidence and find lasting love." So we knew exactly who she was speaking with. She was specific with her audience, and she gave a clear solution. And one of the great things about Lynn's title is that it passed what we call the squint test, right? You could see words like divorced and date and confidence if you kind of lean back and kind of squint. So those were great aspects of your title, Lynn. Congratulations, your journal is on the way. And then for winner number 2, dun, 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 we have Jazz Rawlinson. So excited for our second winner. Jazz's talk title has a clear message, and she created a compelling graphic that really stood out. We loved her call to action. It is "Attention, female writers, 3 keys to transforming your life story into a book that creates global impact." And I think it's terrific that she talks about such a powerful result. One tip that we did have for you, Jazz, is to think about capitalizing some of your words to really help them stand out and help with that squint test as well. But it was an amazing talk title. Congratulations to you as well.
And I am so excited, Jazz, Lynn, congratulations. And so excited to queue up CTA number 3. Who is ready to make one more video? And so this video is going to be a little different than the last video. You are certainly welcome to go live again if you'd like, but you don't have to go live. You can just make the video and upload it. That way you've got a little bit more time to kind of think through how it's going to go if you want. But our invitation to you is to make a 2-minute engaging video using the engagement tools we learned today. And this is a video, y'all, that you could absolutely use again in your business. Are you picking up what we're laying down? Your video will qualify for the contest if you do the following. Pay close attention if you want to qualify for the contest. You will qualify if your video is 2 minutes or less. You guys see that? 2 minutes. I love you, long-winded women. 2 minutes. Your video will qualify if you use engagement tools like we taught today. Engaging questions, sharing a statistic, or sharing some kind of a big solution you found. If you make a CTA, it's got to be something free. Do not sell anything in this video. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Make sure you post it in the Rock the Virtual Stage group. One of the CTAs that I recommend you consider is just friend me on Facebook. That's an easy CTA. That way you can end up with more friends. You can make friends with more women in this group. That's a good thing. They're going to lift you up. And then if you want to be in line for $22,000 worth of business training, we're talking about business training like Trisha Nelson had, like Marlu Soria had. And we'll go back one more slide, one more time. If you want to be in line for the 22K prize, you have got to also give 3 rock stars some real feedback. Not just 2 sentences, not just 2 words, not just you are radiant. That's not feedback, right? Love them up, give them at least one thing that they might be able to think about. I would love to see more light on your face. I was a little confused when you said that particular word. Could you phrase it differently? And then love them up. Make sure you tell them what's awesome. I see leadership coming through you. You had my attention when you said such and such. Pop a yes in the chat if you're taking this seriously. Pop a yes on the chat if you are willing to give 3 of your sisters some real feedback on their videos. Pop a yes in the chat if you are up for the challenge of making a video that you can also use in your business, right? This is like a real video that you can use to invite people to follow you on Facebook, follow you on Instagram, join a Facebook group. I would not go start a Facebook group just for this assignment, because I'll tell you the truth. In order to do a Facebook group well, you actually have to know what you're doing. You have to set it up right. You got to be in there regularly. You got to handle it right. You got to manage it right. For most of you, your best and most effective CTA is just going to be follow me on Facebook, friend me. Send me a friend request. I will friend you within 24 hours. Let's be friends and lift each other up. Raise your hand if you would love to make more friends and lift each other up, right? With women that actually give a shit, that women that care. I know my trucker's mouth is coming out today. Anything to add about the contest, Nicole? I'm really excited to see your videos.
We are always so excited to see your videos. I love that you are emphasizing the feedback. It really makes all the difference, right? We work hard at putting these videos out and being really, really vulnerable. And all of you are brilliant. Some of your feedback has been amazing. So don't be shy. If you really think there's a tip that can help a sister, we want to hear that. That is really part of our culture. And so we are looking forward to your videos and to everybody playing.
And just to be clear, you are welcome to add social media links to your video. A social media link, an Instagram link, a TikTok link, a Facebook link. Most of you, I would just add a Facebook link. Here's how to follow me on Facebook. You can go grab your Facebook handle. It's easy to learn how to do that. You can Google it up if you don't know how. But you can also just say, follow me, friend me on Facebook. Here's my name here. Here's how to find me. We're all smart here. Like we know what your little, we know what your picture is. So yes, social media links are welcome. Social media links only, please. We are absolutely so excited to see your videos. And let's talk about how you can continue to play to actually queue up for the $22,000 prize. So here's how that's going to work. If you have not been playing so far, you still can play. We'll go back through the CTAs. On Tuesday, we invited you to make a 1-minute live video. On Wednesday, we invited you to post your talk title. On today, we're asking you to make that 2-minute engagement video. And then if you're still getting, if you're getting set up with the CTAs, and if you're jumping in now, again, it's not too late to play. You're not behind. You have until Monday, but just make sure you go back through the group and do those Facebook love ups, right? Go find other women that have made their video, go find women that have posted their talk and love them up. And raise your hand if you would be willing to find women specifically that have less comments. Like if a sister only has 1 comment, love her up. Raise your hand if you'd be willing to take care of each other. Rising tide lifts all boats mentality. Tomorrow's topic is speaking to sell. I love this topic. As you can tell, I love helping you make money. It's not just about speaking to entertain. It's about speaking to sell, speaking to enroll. And the good news is that tomorrow we are going to do a community-wide Q&A session. Nicole's going to be staying on for that. I'm so excited to support all of you in that Q&A session. So I am going to invite you to take a nice deep breath. Rub your hands together. Fill them up with energy and love and amazingness. We're going to send some love to Samsung and Susan and all of you. I saw one of you pop my friend Lisa Sasovich's name in the chat. She's a dear friend of mine. Yes, we teach you how to speak to enroll. And I'm going to invite you to send your love out to every single other woman here and come back tomorrow. Same time, same place, so we can teach you how to speak and enroll. And if you're not VIP, now would be a great time to head over and grab your link so you can join us on the after party and get the message clarity bonus resources. And we are going to start the VIP session at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. Dance it out. Y'all are amazing. You blow me away. You can do whatever you want to do, one step at a time. Do not lose hope. All right. Bye, live streamers. Bye, replayers. We will see you tomorrow.